At Hippo Lakes in South Africa, and I wanted to show the tent that we were assigned. So let's go this way. So you follow the red brick road until you get to Buffalo 1. And onto the Trex deck, and right here we have a Hippo Lake. Apparently there's more than one since it's called Hippo Lakes, but this is the one we're on. And you can go all the way down here. And boy, it's hard to see, but in between these trees right there are hippos. And we'll try to get some better views of them later.
There he goes again.
Let's see. Let's see. Oh, show it to me. Yes.
Look at him.
I'm just watching.
This is our deck. This is our private deck. It is just for this tent. It features this lovely table for two and these two chairs with the table and these two loungers and our very own heated plunge pool that is just for us. We also have down here our semi-private fishing platform that's shared between us and one other tent. And yeah, so that's the tent. I don't know how they call these things, tents. And let's take a look inside. And we enter the living room. I guess you'd call it that. I mean, it's a tent, but it's apparently many tents. And you can see they left us some welcome things. A nice bowl of fruit. And some local fruity, creamy liquor stuff. And they told us those were chocolates. And we have our very own welcome letter. And over here, some books. We will be discussing the books later. Some of these books have more of a story to tell than you might think. And then in here, there is a coffee station. That must be an emergency light right there. Some little chewy things, some nice coffee, a French press, glasses. Very nice. Nothing in there. Oh, there's a fridge. And in the fridge, there is some water and what is that? Manzi, apple, orange, and mango. So, take it. Lovely silk flowers, trash can. And then over here, they provided us with some umbrellas, a tea kettle, and these bags that they said were ours. Inside the bags are a Hippo Lakes water bottle and a Hippo Lakes cup. And then a little backpacky kind of thing. So that's nice. They said those are good for the game drives. Okay, there's two other rooms to explore. This room here is the bedroom. And over here we have a desk with these birds they're birds. I don't know why they're there. There's a lot of outlets. Interesting that is South African and European outlets there. So it's 240 volts, but they do have a lot of European outlets. And over here there's more. There's a heated mattress pad, which tells a story, I'm sure. It must get very cold in here at night. And, oh, look, a Bible. We will talk more about that, too. This light here turns on the chandeliers, because what kind of tent wouldn't have two chandeliers in the bedroom? A very large bed. And flowery foldings with shower caps and premium milled soap. We got a mini split air conditioner, which is very welcome. And what is in here? Oh, another Bible. Because why have only one when you can have two? And then in here we have some robes, some towels, a safe, and doom. Yes, doom is a very common thing in South Africa, and it is for killing all the insects that have sneaked in at night. We have been warned to leave the doors closed because there are resident monkeys that like to come and hang out. These are open, by the way. There's no window here. And he said that they like to leave those open all the time. So while it makes it a bit warm in here, we also have the air conditioner running because this is a maximum efficiency kind of place. Okay, one last room to look at. What do you think's in here? Ta-da! Oop, that's the light, huh? Okay. Yes, indeed. It is the bathroom. There's a heater, 2 sinks with water, and hand and body wash and hand and body lotion. A thing for, I guess, toothbrushes. A soap dish. Anything in here? Nothing in there. Those are fake. Let's look in here. Nothing in there. Laundry. They do laundry here. You put your laundry in there. A mirror. Hello! And then over here, place to hang things. A very European toilet with a room fragrance. A mirror, fancy toilet paper roll, and a gigantic tub with its own shower. Folks, I do not have a word for an overlarge ottoman found in a bathroom, but if there is a word for that, there's one right there. And then the shower, which is a massive 4-person affair that has shelves and a rainwater shower head and a handheld spray shower head. Very European as well. Things are even in Celsius for your convenience. You can see what we're using here, African spa. There you have it. That is Buffalo 1 tent at Hippo Lakes. And, well, we've got more to say, but we wanted to give you the visuals first. So let's talk about our experience at Hippo Lakes. First off, the pros. It's a stunning property they have there. It's a lot of land, and the game drives on the property are beautiful. No, you will not see all of the big 5 here. It's not that kind of a place, but you will see plenty of zebras and impalas and kudus, and we saw jackals and hippos and bush babies and all kinds of animals. There was no lack of animals. This is definitely not the kind of place where you're driving around looking for animals and you can't find them. Also, the staff was incredibly friendly the entire visit. Everybody on the staff was very helpful, always friendly, always greeted you with a smile. And I have to give a special shout out to the guides, specifically one with the initials MJ, were just outstanding in their friendliness and knowledge about the area. So that part they've really got down. Also, the internet and cell phone service, well, not perfect, was there, and it worked, and that was a nice thing. If you wanted to upload some pictures of your day's adventures, there was no problem at all with that, and you could even stream some movies and stuff at night if you wanted to. It did get bogged down at certain times. It seemed like after dinner it was slower, but hey, you're in the middle of rural Africa here, so that was appreciated. Now, the cons. Well, this is a luxury experience. This tent lists for $11,000 for 5 days. At that price point, you expect some serious luxury, and there were some places where that did not happen. One of the biggest complaints we had was the smell. They were having serious septic problems, not only in our tent, but in other people's tents too. We could smell it as we walked by the tents, and our bathroom smelled terrible for most of the visit. They did come out one day and do some kind of a treatment, and that made it better, but as soon as we took a shower the next day, the smell was back, and honestly, by the time we left, we were okay with leaving. As luxurious as that tent was, it's hard to be in luxury when it smells really bad. Also, the pool, while very nice and luxurious, was never clean. It didn't have a skimmer, it collected bugs during the week, and it started to smell really musty and get cloudy. I really think it needed an algicide treatment and some shock, and by the end of the week, we didn't even want to go near it, never mind go in it. Another thing we were disappointed in is the food. The food was good. The chef did an excellent job with what she had, but it was very mixed from day to day whether the food would be good quality or not, and there was very little selection. While they would try to take your order during the day, You were basically going to have some vegetables and you get to pick a protein, and that was it. And I had a really hard time finding food that I liked. Now, I'm a bit of a picky eater. I like plain foods, and it was pretty hard for me sometimes. Also, and I'm sorry, but this was terrible, we were promised some kind of a lunch on the drive from Johannesburg up to the park, and what they gave us was a paper bag filled with gas station treats. I mean, it looked like a 5-year-old had gone into a gas station and just thrown things in a bag. This was not gourmet luxury experience. There was nothing in there but candy and chips, and we didn't even have any drinks. There was a cooler with lukewarm water. That was it. And that leads me to the next thing, which is that the drive from Johannesburg to Hippo Lakes took 7 hours. And it's just not that far. What happened was they offered an optional elephant experience that we were not interested in. But that meant we just had to sit there while other people took part in this experience. So after flying 15, 16 hours from Atlanta all the way to Johannesburg and having a short night's sleep because our plane was delayed, we were jet lagged and we just wanted to get to the place where we were staying, but we were forced into going to watch other people play with elephants, and we didn't think that was appropriate. In fact, that was a theme throughout the trip. They offer these optional game drives that are at other places that are far away, and they're in these very uncomfortable vans. It's difficult to get there, and they're $150 a person each, and they just expect you to do them. But we didn't want to. We had done game drives before. We were happy just hanging out in the property, and we stayed one day behind, and people were kind of confused that we were doing that. So that gave this feeling of kind of nickel and diming, and that was even in cases like if you went out on a game drive and they offered you drinks, they'd come by and ask you what drink you had so they could charge you for it. Like, oh, you had a Diet Coke? Well, we have to charge you for that. At $11,000, you just don't expect to be charged like that. And some drinks were included and some weren't, and it was confusing, and it was all kept track of in a notebook. And anyway, nothing was terribly expensive. It was just an annoyance and not the kind of thing you expect at that price point. Now, all that aside, that's stuff that's easily fixed. But there is, to me, a big problem that's harder to fix. We ended up at Hippo Lakes because we won an auction. A local nonprofit in Chicago was doing an auction to raise money, and they had a South African safari on there, and no one had bid on it, so we bid on it, and we won. But we didn't get to pick where we were going. In fact, we had no idea it was Hippo Lakes. It was just South African Safari. After a few days, we figured out where we were going. And if you look at the Hippo Lakes website, what they don't tell you is that Hippo Lakes is owned by Bruce Wilkinson and Teach Every Nation. This is a prosperity gospel evangelical organization that aims to spread Christianity throughout the third world. They've been involved in some controversies in Swaziland, and there are certain Christians that don't like what they do, and prosperity gospel is rather odious, and I don't want to give the impression that Bruce Wilkinson is one of the really bad televangelist guys, because I don't think that's the case. But I don't want to support what is basically neo-colonialism by spreading Christianity through Africa. That's not something I want my money to go to. And if you go to some of the websites of the people who work there, you'll find out that all the profits from Hippo Lake go to support their evangelism. And that is a major problem for me, and that's why I pointed out the books in the video. Some of those books were written by Bruce Wilkinson. He got very, very wealthy writing these prosperity gospel books, and the fact that there are 2 copies of the New Testament by the bed was just kind of funny. Now, that said, if you have no problem with evangelical Christianity and you even want to support that, Hippo Lakes is the place for you. And if you're somebody who's just not really concerned, you're not going to be bothered. It's not like they lead prayers or anything. There was no prayer before dinner. The only religious thing we saw was a plaque carved into a rock on one of the more beautiful places you'll see if you go there, which was, to me is unfortunate, but to the religious people was probably nice. So make your own decision. My big complaint is that if you don't want to support this type of activity and you win this in an auction, you have no way to opt out. By the time you find out about this, you're already there. So I just want to shed some light on that. Teach Every Nation is basically a training program where they train pastors how to grow and how to basically get more money from their participants. And well, anyway, this is not my thing. I don't want to support that. And because of this, I will not go back to Hippo Lakes, nor will I recommend it. But now you have the info, you can make your own choice. And by all means, if you don't go to Hippo Lakes, do make some time to go to South Africa, because it's a wonderful country and I could speak many, many, many more hours on that topic. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to get in touch through comments. Cheers.